The power of systems is why your life isn't where it should be, where it could be, where it should be. So this video is going to be a bit of a slap in the face for you. Might say things that might not be comfortable with you, but through that, powerful change can happen, because you can't call yourself a high performer if your life depends on the chaos just to feel alive, just to feel something. So let me start this video with a truth that most men run from and avoid from like it's the plague. You're not tired, you're unstructured, you're not burnt out, you're disorganized, you're not lost, you're just undisciplined and without a system. And if you have got a system, it's a shit one. And here's the dagger in your back. You're not failing because you're weak. You're failing because your system is weak. This is exactly why men come into my coaching in the first place. They're successful on paper, they've got things going for them, and it's not because they lack talent, not because they lack ambition, but because they finally admit the truth to themselves, that your potential doesn't matter, because everybody's got potential. Your systems matter. And if you don't fix your system, then nothing changes, because every system is getting the result that it should get for how it's set up. So here's the lie that high performers tell themselves. If you want the truth, most high performers are nothing but stressed out boys and acting like high performing men, because you hustle, you grind, take pride in being busy. You brag about having a million tabs open, spinning more plates, doing more, being stressed, but deep down, you know that you're barely holding life together with a bit of duct tape and some caffeine. Your brain's noisy, your body's soft, your money is chaos and overwhelming, and your emotions are unstable. Your relationships are strained and becoming more strained by the day. Your mornings and your evenings are anxiety, and your nights before you go to bed are filled with guilt and stress. But you can't hide from it. You can't hide from it and behind it from your business card and your income, because you might look successful, but you know in here where it matters, you feel like a liability. And here's the part that stings, because when no one's around you to tell you the truth, because the people around you benefit from you staying predictable, stressed and compliant, nodding and agreeing. So I'll say it. You're not a high performer. You're a high functioning mess. Let me say that again. You're not a high performer. You're a high functioning mess. Not because you're a failure, but because you never built the one thing that creates peace, power and progress. And that's a working system, a system that works, full of daily non-negotiables that build you as a man. Because systems make you undeniable. So let me say this with 100% conviction. A man without systems will lose to a man who has a system every day of the week. Because you can wake up in the morning motivated, but motivation's like a sugar rush. It feels good in a second and then it's gone. You want to come down. So you can feel inspired all you want, read the books, watch the podcasts and the videos, but without systems, your life just becomes a cycle of false starts and emotional crashes. Because motivation doesn't save you. Hype doesn't save you. Shiny objects and new planners don't save you. Systems do. Systems are the difference between peace and anxiety, power and chaos, growth versus stagnation, self-respect versus self-hatred, excellence versus mediocrity. And I'm ruthless when I say this. Your life isn't a product of your dreams and your goals and your targets, because everybody's got goals, dreams and targets. It's a product of your systems. And if your systems are sloppy, inconsistent or even non-existent, your results will be sloppy and inconsistent and non-existent. Because every successful man that you admire, they're not superhuman, because we've all got the same 24 hours in a day. They've got systems. I'll tell you the truth that most gurus avoid telling you. A peaceful, powerful, wealthy life is predictable when your system is predictable and your daily actions that create your life are predictable. You know your daily non-negotiables that need doing each day. So that leads me on to the 3M system. The reason why men hire me in the first place. Mindset, movement, money. These aren't buzzwords. They're the 3 pillars that decide whether you're a man that becomes powerful or your life just collapses bit by bit. Because every high performer who comes to me is failing in at least one of those areas. Mindset, movement, money. Most of them are failing in all 3, and that's the sad reality of it. So let me show you exactly why. Because once you start feeding into each other, life starts working for you. The first M, mindset, the keys to your entire life. Your mindset is your operating system, but most of you are running on old programming. Could be guilt, anxiety, childhood conditioning and trauma, perfectionism, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, people pleasing, internal chaos, negative self-doubt. Because you can achieve great things, but your internal world still feels like a battlefield because you never learned to rewire it in the first place. You tried to motivate yourself out of it. You tried to think your way out of it. You tried to think positive. You might have even tried journaling and meditation for 3 days and called it healing. But what you actually need is identity reconstruction. And that's exactly what I do for my clients. Daily subconscious rewiring and reprogramming. Daily identity work. Daily nervous system regulation. Daily emotional mastery. And the result is a life that works. A mind that actually serves you instead of sabotaging you at every single chance it gets. A mind that responds with power instead of panic. A mind that calms you when most other men collapse under the pressures of life. Because life's stressful. Life's full of pressure. I'm not going to lie and say it's not. But that's why the men that I coach become unfuckwithable. Not because they're special, but because their mind finally obeys them and works for them instead of against them. So the second M is movement. You've got to fix your body and fix your life. Because this one hurts egos, but let me say it anyway. You can't lead anybody when your own body's screaming for help. You've got man tits and a beer gut, low testosterone, shit skin, because your body exposes your standards. Your posture exposes your confidence. Your physique exposes your discipline and your routines, and your energy exposes your habits. You can hide from your emotions, you can hide from your finances, but you cannot hide from your body. You have to look in the mirror every day and either be proud or not. Because if you've got a gut, low energy, poor sleep, zero focus, and a weak presence when you walk into a room, you are not a high performer. You're just coasting, maybe working at 40% of your potential, and you know it in here. Because movement systems fix that. Not bodybuilding, not 2-hour gym sessions, not fad diets that last a couple of weeks, just daily movement, daily progression, daily training, and daily discipline. Because when you rebuild your body through systems, your entire identity upgrades. And that identity drives your behavior. And that behavior drives your destiny. This is why the 3M system works. It's worked for me and it's worked for all my clients, because everything feeds into everything. None of the things are separate. So the third M is money. This is where the truth really shows. Most high performers don't have money problems. They have money system problems, because a lot of these men that I work with are high earners, but they're shit with money. They spend emotionally, chase income instead of building wealth, and they've got no cash flow strategy, no tracking, no discipline, no investments that are growing. They're playing expensive games with a cheap mindset. And money systems fix that. Daily income generating actions, daily visibility, controlled expenses, cash flow management, long-term investment strategy, and an identity around wealth. Because when money comes predictable, your nervous system calms, your self-respect increases, and your leadership expands. You move from panic to power. And most men never experience that, but my clients do, and I do. So here are how your daily non-negotiables can become an engine of power, because you don't rise to the level of their goals. You fall to the level of your daily standards. Your standards create your state. Your state creates your actions. Your actions build and create your identity, and your identity is your whole life. This is the real secret. And I'll say this with no filter, with pure conviction. If you don't have any daily non-negotiables, you don't have a chance in hell of becoming unfuckwithable or even scraping near to 100% of your full potential. Because you need a system that forces improvement on autopilot. This is what I install with every single client that I work with. It's not motivation, it's not hype, just mandatory progress. Because when you do things every day that move you forward and help you grow in the area of the 3Ms, mindset, movement, and money, you become unstoppable. It might not be glamorous, but you become unstoppable. And here's why men train and coach with me. Because I've lived both sides of it. I've lived the chaos, the addictions, the overdraft, the stress, the debt. I've lived at rock bottom. I've lived with the daily anxiety and the self-hatred. I've lived the crime and the shame and the criminal convictions. I've lived from a place of disconnection from myself. And I've rebuilt myself into a dangerous, peaceful, aligned man using the exact framework that I teach in the alignment blueprint, the free system that's in the description of this video. Men come and work with me because they feel seen, and not because they know, because they know that I'm not just theorizing, I'm demonstrating from blood, sweat and tears every day. And let me be clear, I don't just coach average men. I coach leaders, entrepreneurs, athletes, founders, high income men who are already winning, but they hate the man behind the success. And I turn them into men who win inside of themselves and outside. Not through hype, not through fucking fancy bullshit, but through systems, daily non-negotiables. And here's what I'm going to say to you before I leave you. Your life is not going to change because you watch this video. It is what it is. Your life changes when your system changes, your daily systems. And that starts exactly here. So step number 1 is download the alignment blueprint. It's free. The link's in the description, or comment on the video and I'll send it through to you. There's no bullshit, no upsell hidden inside, just the system I use with my elite clients and the system I use myself. Step number 2, if you're serious about changing, book a power hour breakthrough call. Not if you're curious, but if you're ready to really fucking change. Because in that hour, I'll show you exactly why you keep sabotaging yourself. Because there's nothing more frustration than self-sabotage. I'll show you where your systems are broken, why your potential's been capped no matter how hard you seem to work, and how to build a life that forces you to become great. There's no other way. Because if you're a high-performing man who wants structure, calm, power, and momentum, I'm the coach that can get you there. Not because I say it, but because I've lived it. I teach it, and I have the systems that create it. It's worked over and over and over again, and the system's there. It's free. It's in the description. Download it. Download the alignment blueprint. Book the power hour breakthrough call. Stop drifting. Start building a system. Start building a system that guarantees the win. Become unfuckwithable or stay exactly where you are. The choice is yours. So I'll see you in the next video, but don't bother clicking on the next video unless you download the alignment blueprint and start taking some action on it. Let's fucking go.